Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. I'm gonna give everybody a minute to get on. I'm also gonna get the Facebook set up. I've missed you guys a lot. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie to y'all. I missed y'all a lot. So give me 2 seconds to get everything set up. Let's see. I'm gonna go live in the. I'll go live on the Facebook page. That's what we'll do. I'll go live on the Facebook page. How is everybody? How is everybody's? How long have I been gone? Like a week and a half. So today what I'm gonna do is to celebrate kind of like my return from my vacation, right? We're gonna be answering a lot. Well, I keep saying we, right? I'm gonna be answering a lot of you common questions that I've got. I've received a ton of emails while I was gone. So I'm gonna answer some of the questions that I saw in there as well. If you did send me an email, just give me to the end of the week to respond to you guys. Because I did receive like a big influx of emails while I was on vacation. And I'll still, even if I answer your question here, I'm still going to respond to your email. Let's see if we can get this set up. Oh no, it's not going to do it. I guess we're not going to go live on Facebook today. It's just YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram today. But what's up, everybody? Let's get back to, okay, here we go. All right, so for those of you who are new here, welcome. My name is Markia. I'm known on social media as the Money Plug. I'm a board certified credit repair specialist and credit score consultant. I use my platform to teach you guys not only how to repair your credit yourself, but the importance of rebuilding. Oh, thank you, girl. Thank you, girl. Somebody said I'm all glowing and stuff. Man, I really enjoyed my vacation. I had a ball. I'm rejuvenated. I'm refreshed. I'm energized. Like I'm ready to hit the ground running for you guys. April is a huge month for the Money Plug family. I'm so excited to share all of the things that's going on with you for you guys. If you guys are watching this and you guys have questions, please put them in the comments. Not babies coming soon. Not babies coming soon. Ain't no more babies coming out of here. But no, I really did miss you guys. It took a lot in me not to constantly be on social media answering you guys' questions and stuff like that. So definitely shout out to the world's best followers because y'all made sure I had nothing to do on vacation. But there are some really cool things that are happening this month that I had to kind of work on during my vacation that I can finally tell you guys about. This month, I'm going to be giving a presentation for the National Credit Union Association and the FDIC. So I'm super excited about that. That is huge for somebody with a platform my size, right? That's somebody for a much larger platform, but I'm just super honored that they even asked me to be a part of it. And so we're going to be talking about, FinTalk for those of you who are not familiar. So the financial advice that you guys often find on TikTok and social media and things like that. We're going to be talking about that and how different banks, and the different resources and programs that they have, how can they reach more people? It's all about, they have amazing programs teaching kids how to use their bank accounts to even get bank accounts. A lot of the misinformation that I'm often finding myself correcting, they have programs for, but they have no idea on how to reach more people. So I'm so excited that they chose me to speak to them about that, and I cannot wait. I'm also going to be getting back to my free workshops. I have one this month with the Detroit public school system. There's a particular school, I'm not going to announce it, there's a particular school where I will be doing their, every month they have meetings with the parents. I'm going to be doing credit audits for all of the families that attend the school, that attend the meeting, as well as providing my free workshop for them as well to answer any of the questions that they may have. So that's going on this month. I also have another really big presentation coming up. Hopefully, it's going to lead to bigger and better things. But this month is all about education, right? This month is all about giving back. April is Founders Month for my sorority, Kappa Epsilon Psi Military Sorority Incorporated. So I'm super, super, super excited to be giving back and things like that. I'm trying to give some likes, but there's no like button. Oh, it's cool. It's cool. Probably because I'm on trying to go live on everything, right? So, because I'm also live on YouTube. So if you got in here late or you're not going to be able to stay the whole time and you have a question, please don't hesitate to put your question in the comments. And then you can always go back and watch it on YouTube. I'm not on Facebook this morning. I don't know what's going on Facebook, but you can always go back and watch it on YouTube. All of my lives are recorded for YouTube. Instagram really be giving me some problems a lot of time when I'm trying to save the Q&As because they often go really long. But again, if you guys want to catch the playback, you can always go back and watch it on YouTube. So my vacation was amazing. I went on a cruise to the Bahamas. I also attended Dreamville. Shout out to Raleigh. You guys were an amazing hosts. The UNC Duke game was crazy after Dreamville. Shout out to UNC. But I had a ball. I thoroughly enjoyed myself, and I'm just so excited to get back to work this week. So let's go over some of the questions, right? So what are the common questions that I've been getting while I'm on vacation? Yeah, I was in North Carolina. I went down to Dreamville. I got to meet a couple of my followers because I did post on Instagram that I was at Dreamville. So I got to meet like one or two of my followers, and it's like, oh my God, I follow you on Instagram or TikTok. And so that was pretty cool. But yeah, I had a ball, man. Hey. So one of the biggest questions that I got. So on vacation, I did a video that went viral on TikTok, that talked about you need to be using your credit cards. What? I didn't know you was in North Carolina. You got popcorn? You ship? Listen, email me. My email's on my TikTok page. If you ship, email me because I love me some popcorn. I love me a good popcorn, and I love supporting small businesses. But I did a video on TikTok on my way to the Bahamas that talked about, I don't know who needs to hear this, but you guys need to stop using your credit cards in case of an emergency. Your credit card isn't for that. It's for you to use to kind of substitute your debit card. And so I've gotten a lot of questions regarding that because I really didn't offer any nuance. So let's talk about that for a second. So a lot of us, right, especially us, we're raised to, if you can't afford it, don't spend it, and therefore you don't need credit cards. Or if you have a credit card, you're only supposed to use it in case of an emergency and things like that. And while I follow that same logic, if you don't have it, don't spend it. The idea of not using these credit cards or not having credit cards is actually very damaging to your credit profile. You need credit cards in order to build credit. There's no way around it. A lot of people think of it as like, oh, I don't want to owe other people money. I don't like owing people. And I get the concept. But if you use your credit cards properly, you won't be spending any more money than you had already planned on spending. And what I mean by properly is this. So the reason why a lot of credit cards, once you start really establishing a solid credit profile and qualifying for the better cards, the reason why they offer so many perks is because these cards are supposed to replace your debit cards. You are not supposed to only use your credit cards for emergencies. Now, there are some people like myself, I buy a lot of shit in a day, right? And so what I tend to do is every credit card has an assignment. And I went and bought a little label maker and I label my credit cards in the event that I forget, right? Because I got 1,000 kids in here. So I do tend to forget, but I label my credit cards for what I'm supposed to be using it for. And so typically how it works is, let's say in a day, right? I wake up in the morning and I go to Starbucks. I have a credit card that I use to put money on my Starbucks because I don't have a Starbucks credit card. I just never got one. I have a credit card that I use at Starbucks. And so I add, because my little sister uses my stars, because y'all know I'm cutting back since I got my espresso machine. So if I go get like a refresher or something like that, I'll typically use one particular credit card to add the money to my Starbucks account and pay that way. And then when I get home or when once I pull off, I'll hurry up and make a payment in the exact amount that I just spent. Usually minus $1 or $2 or $5 is usually like my safe space. And we'll talk about that in a second. But whatever you spend, you immediately pay back. Do you see what I mean? So the way I figure out which credit cards I'm going to use, I look at my perks. So I typically use my self card for Starbucks because unless you have a Starbucks card, nobody really gives me points for that. However, what I do is for gas specifically, I have a credit card that gives me cash back on gas. And so this card is specifically for gas. I'll swipe my credit card to get my gas, right? And to get my cash back. And then once I get back in the car after my gas is done pumping before I pull off, I'll make a payment in that exact amount that I spent when I bought my gas. This keeps me from paying interest, right? Because a lot of you do not want to pay interest. This also allows me to, that transactional history on a credit card is very important, right? You have to seem valuable to these banks, to these companies. And so in order to seem valuable to them, you have to use their products. If you're only using your credit card once a month, that's not really providing a value and that's not really establishing a solid relationship with this bank. But because I'm consistently using all of my credit cards, right? All of them, not just one or two, I'm consistently using all of my credit cards. This allows me to have good relationships with all of these banks. And these relationships come in handy, right? Because we all know I do not have a perfect credit profile. I've spoken about it extensively. And so for those of you who are rebuilding, not necessarily establishing credit for the first time, it's very important for you to build and cultivate these relationships with these lenders because this can be the difference between you getting approved and denied for something. You don't have a great credit profile, right? And let's be realistic. The let's say I want to say this is not the right word. The probability, that's the word I'm looking for. The probability of all of the items on your credit report that you don't like coming off isn't very high, right? So I know that I need to leverage something else if I want to qualify for things that my score won't necessarily qualify me for. And this is where the relationship that you have with the lender comes into play. For example, Capital One. I've had a relationship with Capital One since 2012. I've had multiple credit cards. I've had checking accounts. I have my card through them. Well, one of my cards through them. So, I know that I have a very good relationship with Capital One. Even when my credit wasn't the best, they were giving me credit limit increases. I was qualifying for better cards. When I had missed some payments, I was able to use a Goodwill letter, literally the same Goodwill letter that I'm telling you guys to send. I used that personally for Capital One, and they were able to remove my late payments because of the relationship that I have with them. So when I'm telling you guys to build these relationships with these banks, it's not because I get something out of it. It's because you will get something out of it if done properly. There's times when your credit score just won't make the mark, but the relationship that you have with these companies, that's going to push you to the other side to get you the approvals that you're looking for. So definitely, definitely, definitely need to be using these credit cards, guys, and spread the wealth. If you, if you only have one credit card, we all talk about, like, everybody always asks me, what's a good credit profile, right? You always talk about your credit profile. What's a good credit profile? A baseline that I tell all of my clients, right? Oh, have fun at work. You're so welcome. When it comes to a good credit profile, a good baseline to work towards, that I typically tell people, is that you need to have at least 3 credit cards, one short-term loan, one long-term loan when it comes to what is reporting on your credit profile. And so that's at least. You can have more than that. Let's say you don't have a long-term loan. You can maybe have 2 short-term loans or an extra credit card, really balance it out. But you need to make sure that you have a good mix of accounts and that you're using them properly. Now, short-term loan, long-term loan. These are installment loans with different term lengths. So a short-term loan is a term length of 24 months or less. Long-term is typically longer than that. Long-term loans are typically like cars, homes, student loans, things like that. Short-term loans are like personal loans. Self is considered a short-term loan, et cetera, et cetera. If they close an account due to little use 2 or 3 times a year, is it against the law for them to do so? No. When you sign a contract with these companies, you guys really need to start reading the fine print, because you give them the right to close. And this goes for bank accounts, checking accounts, all of that. You give them the right to close your account at any point in time, and they do not have to they don't have to run it by you before it happens. They just have to notify you after the fact. And so if they decide to close your account because you aren't using it, they're going to do so. This is why I typically tell people, everybody always asks me, what credit card should I have? You should only have credit cards that provide some sort of value to your life. So and this is why it's very dangerous for you all in a lot of these credit repair groups and in a lot of these homeowner groups, because you see these cards and you see all these people getting all these things, and you want it, and you want it so bad that you just start applying for shit that you don't even need. For example, the example I always use, right? Everybody, you can see me, right? I don't have a hoodie on today. So I'm about 5'10", I'm about 150 pounds, maybe. And shout out to me because I've been working, right? But I'm not gonna go out and get a Lane Bryant card. It doesn't matter how easy it is for me to get this card. It doesn't matter how much credit they're going to give me. I don't shop at Lane Bryant, so I'm never going to use this fucking card. So it makes no sense for me to add it to my credit profile when it's not going to do anything but get closed out anyway. However, I do have 1,000 kids, right? So I have a Children's Place card, because I know I'm going to go ahead and use that. I use that a lot. Kids are growing like weeds. So you only want to add credit cards to your credit profile that provide a value for you. Evaluate what your current spending habits. I always tell people, print out a copy of your bank statement from the last 30 days and categorize your spending. What are you spending your money on? Is it food? Is it groceries? Is it travel? Is it gas? Like, what are you spending your money on? And then do some research. What cards will offer you specifically the best perks for your spending habits? You should not be getting cards and then making purchases to match that card. You should be getting you should be getting cards that already kind of supports your spending. Hold on, I see some more questions. Whole life or term life insurance? I don't deal with that. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have the life insurance the VA gave me, and then I have life insurance through my husband because he's still serving. So I'm not really in the life insurance space. But there's a girl that I follow on Instagram. I recommend her to everybody. Her name is Ms. Life Insurance. I think it's like MZ Life Insurance. Her name's Brittany. She's amazing. She breaks it down and makes it easy. I just don't get into that. This is overwhelming to me. Can't I just pay someone to do this for me? Like, get me started. So if you need repair, yes. But when it comes to building credit, the excuse of I don't understand or this is too much for me isn't going to fly, because you have to be the one to build your credit and you have to understand what you're doing. I get a lot of people who just kind of want to throw money at the problem and I want you to fix it. But what a lot of people don't understand is that rebuilding is important to the repair, because regardless, no matter what happens with the repair, whether it works out in your favor or not, rebuilding during that time is going to be key, because if you're not establishing a solid credit profile and maintaining that credit profile, then you're still not going to go anywhere. Thank you. Y'all want to know something crazy? So somebody said they like my hair. Y'all want to know something crazy? I got my hair done at Dreamville. Inside the VIP section, right? Because I paid for VIP. Inside the VIP section, it was a bunch of barbers and hairstylists and massage therapists. Shout out to Jazzy Styles is the name of the shop. But one of the girls, she had this afro, y'all. I'm gonna be posting videos and stuff throughout the week from Dreamville. She had this white afro with these butterflies, and it was so pretty. But she did my hair, and it's amazing. But yeah, thank you for the compliment. I love my hair. I'm gonna post a picture later and try to tag them on Instagram. So yeah, you guys, understanding your credit is a very big part of credit repair. So whether you guys, oh, thank you for the butterfly. Whether you go with me to teach you guys by following me, or you hire me, or even if you hire somebody else, at no point in time should you be confused. You need to understand what's going on with your repair at all times. Excuse me. And they also need to be able to break down the rebuilding process for you. Because clearly, if you knew what you were doing, right, you would have 850 right now. So the person that you are choosing to guide you on this journey needs to be able to explain to you their journey, right? Because it's not going to be easy. What if you are just starting out with trying to build credit? If you're just starting out trying to build credit, then you likely haven't really identified what what you're trying to do with your credit, right? So the biggest thing is to have a goal. When you're going to start establishing credit, your biggest thing is to have a goal, and not like, oh, my goal is to have an 850. So let's say you are fresh out of high school, you don't have any credit at all, your parents didn't teach you anything, but you want to start building credit because you want to buy a new car. So the biggest thing I'm going to tell you is that you're going to have to start establishing credit. Well, how do I do that? By opening up accounts. Not to say, you need to open up everything that you see. Evaluate your spending habits. Whenever I give, you guys know I do my free workshops every month, starting back up this month. And when I do the webinar called the Credit ABCs for my high school and my college kids, I always tell them that you want to look and you want to open up small accounts. You don't really want to sign on with a big bank, maybe not right away, especially if you do not have consistent income. Maybe prepaid credit cards might be best for you, because it's going to give you that account history while not counting against you as far as your credit utilization, and technically there's no monthly payment that you have to make. Prepaid credit cards that I suggest are cards like the Extra card. That is amazing. I love Credit Sesame's Sesame Cash card. And pretty much how it works is that you put money into an account, and the money that you put into the account is your spending limit. That is your credit limit. So you can't spend more than that. There's no monthly payment. You don't got to pay nothing back. That is how that works. And it adds on-time payment history based on the items that you're, the things that you're using to spend. You have to use the cards. So, and Chime also does this. Chime, a lot of people don't like Chime because Chime does require that you have a direct deposit set up with them of at least $200 to qualify for their card. But again, it is a prepaid card. So whatever money you put into the account, that is your spending limit. For most people who struggle with paying things back, who struggle with the idea of owing people, this is very useful. However, it doesn't count against your credit utilization, which is 30% of your score. So this is a good starting block, but you can't run the entire race on that first speed, right? You got to kick it up a notch. So once once you start establishing, once you have things actually populating on your credit profile, you got a job now, and now you want to build a relationship with the bank. The biggest thing I can tell you is always start with your home bank. They know your spending habits better than anybody. They know what income you got coming in. They know what expenses you have coming out. Always start with your home bank, and don't be scared to start with a secure credit card. There's nothing wrong with a secure credit card. I hear people talking down on them all the time. You got to start somewhere, right? You got to be realistic. So start with a secure credit card. Secure credit cards just mean that you put down money as a deposit. This is a guarantee for the bank that even if this shit don't work out, you're going to get your money. So you put down your deposit with the credit card, and that is your spending limit. And then it works like a regular credit card. There's literally no difference between this and unsecured. It's just that your limit is is already secured. They know that even if this doesn't work out, they got their money already. So, you'll make a payment, you will spend something, you'll make a payment, it'll work like that. And that counts towards your credit utilization. So now you got two cards, right? You got one with your bank and then you got a prepaid card. So this is good. You're establishing credit history. You got a history of on-time payments. So you should start generating a credit score. Now, once you start generating a credit score, now you got to determine which credit score do I need to be tracking. And that all depends on your goals. So if you're looking to buy a home, you're going to look at your FICO 2, your FICO 4, your FICO 5. If you're looking to buy a car, you're going to look at your a car score or auto score, sorry. If you're looking for a credit card, you're going to look for your FICO credit card scores. It's not that these different apps and these different websites are wrong. It's just that they don't always provide all of the scores that you're looking for. And so you have to identify your goals first before you can really kind of pinpoint what cards or what accounts to add to your profile and what scores to track. Question, a medical collection popped up. I sent the HIPAA letter to the bureaus and the collection company last week. It came back immediately, verified from the bureaus, but was removed today. What does that mean? So this is known as a soft removal, right? This means that it is under investigation. So legally, whenever you send in a request for anything to be investigated, this is not just medical debt, this goes for anything. Whenever you send in a request for something to be investigated, it is illegal for the company to still attempt to collect or report on that account while the investigation is being conducted, meaning they have to stop reporting. So until that investigation is complete, the account won't report. This is why a lot of people see removals in that first round. And this is also why I tell you, don't get excited when you guys see these credit people posting, oh, I got 1,000 deletions in the first round. That's not always permanent. A lot of those are soft removals. Now, you'll likely get something from the collection company directly. Number one, establishing their right to go ahead and collect and report on this debt, as well as the information you're requesting. So they're going to send you copies of all the documents that you signed at the hospital and a breakdown of what you owe. And then that's when you're going to go through those documents. When you go through those documents, when it comes to medical collections, you're going to be looking for very specific things. One, you're going to look for the HIPAA release form. That is always the first thing that you should look for, because if you signed one of those, that gave them the right to have access to the PHI that they may have access to. Now, if they did not provide you a signed copy of a HIPAA release form or HIPAA authorization form, and you do see that they have some PHI or some public health information that you did not give them access to, that is a HIPAA violation, and you can use that to get it removed. However, if you signed that documentation and they do have it, you can't use HIPAA to get it removed. You'll have to use something else. And so if you go through the documentation and you're noticing like, yo, there's no signatures on none of this stuff, technically there's no signature, there's nothing tying you to that debt, meaning that debt is not valid. However, if they do validate the debt, right, what are your options? Now, a lot of you have seen the TikToks that are going around saying where they're not reporting medical debt anymore, I don't have to pay it, blah, blah, blah. It's kind of not how it works. So the new changes that's going to be going into effect, I want to say it's either June or July, I can't remember off the top of my head right this second, but with the new changes, any medical debt under $500 will not report to the credit bureaus. So that's a good thing, as well as any paid medical debt will automatically come off your credit. So following that same logic, you can either offer them a pay to delete for your situation. So you can say, listen, in exchange for the money that I owe you, I want you to stop reporting to the credit bureaus now, right? I'm not waiting until July. I want you to stop doing that shit now. And so then you'll pay them, and then they'll give you, you want to get that agreement in writing. This is not something that you can kind of verbally agree to, because you need to have proof. So you want to get that agreement in writing. Even if you call to make the payment and you get them to email you something with the agreement on it saying that they'll remove it upon the receipt of your payment, that's fine. And then once you get that done, you can send that copy of your payment as well as a copy of the agreement to the credit bureaus, and they'll remove the account from your credit report. Now, if they do not agree to a pay to delete, the only option you have right now is to pay it. And then in July, once everything goes into effect, you can use the new law, print it out, highlight it, send it to the credit bureaus with your proof of payment to show that you made the payment and that, the shit needs to come off. Collections. I'm sorry. How to get a short-term loan. Short-term and long-term are just terms that I use to separate the two, but a loan is a loan is a loan. It's all about how long it takes you to pay it back that determines whether or not it's a short-term or a long-term loan. So you want to look and make sure, it just depends what kind of loan you're applying for. If it's a personal loan, you'll apply for it that way. If you decide to get furniture leasing or something like that, and the term length is 2 years, that's considered a short-term loan. You want to make sure that they report to all 3 credit bureaus. That's always the biggest thing. Let's see what else. What else counts as a short-term loan? Self counts as a short-term loan. I love Self. Y'all know I'm a huge fan of Self. But Self counts as a short-term loan as well. So if you sign up for their credit builder loan, how it works is you pick how much you want to pay and how long you're going to pay, up to 2 years, and then those payments will come out automatically. And then you'll make the payments every month. However, at the end of the term length, you actually get a deposit, either direct deposit or a paper check, in the amount that you paid into the program. And what that does is that it builds credit, right? It's giving you on-time payment history, but you're actually paying into a certificate of deposit. So, there's that. Sorry, y'all, I wasn't getting any TikTok questions, so you guys resend your questions for me. I had to refresh the page. I'm a bit confused as far as disputes. I sent one, but do they have 30 or 45 business days? And someone else told me CFPB gave 60 business days now. So as of right now, the credit bureaus and the creditors still have 45 business days to respond to you, which is about 63 or something like that calendar days. So it's 45 business days. July 1st. Paid medical debt will start to come off July 1st, and anything under $500 start next year. Okay, thank you. Good morning. I finally heard from LVNV. Yay! To pay half for the deletion. Yes, pay it, girl. Pay it. If they're going to remove it and they're only requesting half, take it. That is a huge win. Take it, take it, take it. What other questions you guys got for me? If you already put your question and I didn't answer it, I'm sorry I didn't see it. So go ahead and type it in there for me. For those of you who are new here, welcome. My name is Markia. I'm known as the Money Plug here on social media. I'm a board certified credit repair specialist and credit score consultant. And I use my platform to teach you guys all the shit that I know, because everybody can't afford to have somebody to fix their credit, but it doesn't mean you're not entitled to good credit, right? Everybody deserves good credit, regardless of what you can and can't afford. So that's what I'm here for. I have 2 collections and 2 charge-offs. They're reporting different at each bureau. Can I dispute them? Yes. If you have an account, it doesn't matter. If the days are more than 30 days apart, if the amounts are off, if the account is saying open and closed and all this other stuff, you can dispute it. Those are grounds for dispute. No question, just saying good morning. Hey, Will. TransUnion is difficult as far as receiving mail. I keep getting delivery notifications that it'll be late. That sucks. USPS has really been cramping my style with these letters. Oops. Damn it. I hate when that happens to Instagram. Hold on, Instagram. I'm about to plug y'all up. Here we go. There we go. All right, Instagram. Y'all all plugged up. We should be good to go. How often does your mortgage scores update? Your scores should update every month. Just because you might not see a change though. So remember, your mortgage scores are calculated a little differently because it's judging your ability to pay that long-term debt. So you might not see the same movement that you see with like your FICO base scores. So it really just depends on if you have items to make the change. Does that make sense? Hey, T-girl. Next for me to tackle portfolio. Yes. BGE sent the collection, but it's only on Equifax and I have nothing to compare it to. That's fine. Legally, these creditors do not have to report to all 3 credit bureaus. They can report to just one. So you don't have anything to compare it to. The only thing you can compare it to is any bills that BGE sent you. And let me tell y'all something about BGE. They real big on y'all not paying attention when it comes to these collections, because there's been a couple of times where Baltimore Gas and Electric will send y'all a bill saying y'all owe one thing and then they report the collection as something else. But as long as you have the proper amount, you can get the amount updated to make sure that they're not trying to scheme or scam you out of some cash. But that's what you'll compare it to. You'll compare it to any documentation that you actually have to support whatever they're trying to say that you owe. Should I always send my mail through as certified? No, you don't have to. I always start sending it off regular because you don't want to come off as as too aggressive. A lot of times when they get anything certified, they instantly think you're working with a credit repair company. So they'd be like, oh, we need more information or da-da-da-da-da. But I don't send it certified the first time. I try to be as nice as possible, as unassuming as possible, right? I try to be like, oh, I'm just a little old lady checking my credit, right? You don't want to come off too aggressive. But if you're not getting responses or if they're not responding the way you need them to, then that's kind of like when I'll escalate it to certified. And then like if I'm still getting issues, that's when I start requesting signatures and then things like that. I hope you had a good vacation. Man, I had a ball. Let me tell you, I got sunburn. Man, whoever told, and you know what, and I knew it was a lie because I've had sunburn before, but whoever is going around telling black people that they don't need to put sunburn on because black people don't get sunburn, stop fucking lying to these people, because I definitely had sunburn and it had me looking real crazy that first day of Dreamville, especially because I was peeling all right here, all right here. I was peeling bad too, y'all, and my shoulders. I got sunburn on my shoulders too. It was bad, but I still had a ball. They charge the budget cancellation fee on top of the remaining bill. Now that's legal. I will say that by itself is legal. But that doesn't mean you out the game, right? Don't mean you out the game. So like if you, the company that they sent it to, the collection company, what you can do is you can do a debt validation. And so if you do a debt validation with them, they have to prove that you are the party that owes the BGE bill and that they have the right to collect on that BGE bill, right? And so if they can't prove it, it'll get removed. And if they can prove it, it just means that you owe the money, which you kind of already knew anyway. And so you can maybe come up with a settlement offer. You can offer them a settlement like, look, I ain't got all that, but what I do have is this, and I'm willing to give you this in exchange for, considering this debt dealt with. You don't even got to get it removed just to consider this dealt with, right? And then you can do it like that. It is harder for us to get sunburn, but not impossible. Yeah, I learned that shit the hard way, let me tell you. But listen, for Dreamville, I was prepared because it was gonna be 70 degrees. So I had my little sunscreen. I had my Fenty sunscreen for my face because y'all know look. I've been taking care of my face, y'all. Look, y'all gonna be so proud of me. And then I had like sunscreen for the rest of my body. I'm trying to do the legwork myself. When I contact the company to settle and delete any suggestions. One, you always want to get the agreement in writing. That's always the biggest tip that I can give anybody working on their credit. Stop making phone calls, y'all, because these people will tell you anything over the phone to get the payment. You got to realize that a lot of these people at these call centers, they get paid extra for how many accounts they close out. So they don't care about you specifically. So they'll tell you whatever to get you to pay and then be like, well, fuck it, right? Like, I'm not... You don't got no proof that I said I was going to delete it, right? Because they can delete recordings and things like that. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get it in writing. So any agreements, like offers that you send out for a settlement or deletion or anything like that, you always want to mail that out. And then always get a copy of your proof of payment, like a receipt from them showing that you sent your payment in and things like that. And always have a POC. Always keep a point of contact for whomever you spoke with at the bureaus if you do, not the bureaus, the creditors, if you do decide to speak on the phone, so that you can have somebody that you can hold accountable. That means getting employee ID numbers sometimes, things like that. When I looked on Smart Credit, they don't have a collector listed. If it just says BGE, then it's likely still with the original creditor, just in their debt management department. A lot of big companies do that, like hospitals. You'll typically see that with a lot of hospitals. However, if it's in collections and it says unknown as like the creditor name and there's no contact information, that is illegal. And you'll dispute that specifically with the bureaus, like, yo, it's illegal for you to report a debt that does not provide creditor contact information, because I cannot settle the debt if it does not have any creditor contact information. And then they'll likely reach out to whomever reported it to them to get an updated contact information, or they'll just remove it. On any advice on credit denial reconsideration. So whenever you're denied for anything, that requires them to look at your credit, you are entitled to something known as an adverse action notice. This is when they send you the email or the letter that tells you exactly why you got denied for whatever it was, right? And so, hold on, y'all, these jets. Dang, that shit is loud. I'm sorry, y'all. It's like they right over top my house. Ugh. So you're entitled to an adverse action notice, right? Something that says, listen, this is exactly why we told you no. The first thing is to look at that. Look at why they told you no. If it's something that you can fix right away, you can go ahead and fix it and then reapply. If you're looking at it and you're like, no, this can't be true. This isn't my score. I settled these things. I don't know why. And I'm seeing it on my report. I want to do a redetermination. What you'll do is you'll contact the company, and since they already charged you the inquiry, it's not going to charge you an additional one, but you'll call the company and you'll do a redetermination. This means they're going to take a closer look at your credit profile, not necessarily your automatic score, like the automatic system is going to do it. A person is going to do it. And they're going to take a closer look at your personal profile. And I'm going to answer your question in a second, Paige Monique. Give me 2 seconds. and they're going to make a determination that way. Remember, they already charged you the inquiry, so it doesn't cost anything to get a redetermination, and you never know. Just because your score disqualified you for something doesn't mean that your credit profile won't kind of give you that boost. This is why it's important to not be so focused on the points. You need to have a healthy credit profile. Now, Paige Monique, when you sign up for the consultation, yes, it is required that you have a copy of your credit report. What I tell people is that to email it to me. You can go to annualcreditreport.com. And get a copy of your free credit report. It'll give you a copy from each bureau, or you can sign up for Smart Credit, Identity IQ, Equifax. It doesn't matter. Whoever can give you copies, but Credit Karma, I can't use screenshots from Credit Karma. I need your full credit profile. So if you do not have credit monitoring, you don't have to enter it in if you go to sign up for the credit audit. For those of you who don't know, I offer a service known as a credit audit, where you and I will sit down and we will go over your credit profile. I'll tell you exactly what's wrong, what's holding you back, what can you do to fix it, and things like that. It looks like Identity IQ is much more elaborate than Smart Credit. They provide the same information for me, right? I do not have a preference either way. I love Identity IQ and Smart Credit. So you can sign up for either one. I do have the links on my website if you want to do that. So you don't have to have Smart Credit specifically. Smart Credit and Identity IQ, you can link those in the client portal if you decide to sign up for a credit audit, so that you don't have to have a digital copy of your credit report. If you have any other service, you'll just have to give me a copy of that. If there is no signature of mine on the itemized bill, or they don't have the original bill. So a bill is not a debt validation. Hold on, y'all. I'm burning up in here because y'all know, well, y'all don't know, but my kids were sick. So my husband got the heat on hell. Okay, I'm dying in here. Had to open the window back up. Yeah, so a bill is not a proper debt validation. When it comes to a debt validation, they need to be able to provide for you a copy of the original contract that you signed with the original creditor, right? Saying, hey, I agree to pay this over this point amount of time, or whatever it is. But they need a copy of that contract because that ties you to the debt. Promissory notes, contracts, things like that. A bill is just a bill. That's not saying that I'm the one that owes that money. There's nothing that ties me to that bill. That's not a proper debt validation. Good morning. I already have credit report. What is the best way to start and try to fix my credit? The first things first, you got to look at what's wrong with it, right? You got to be able to identify what is wrong with your report. So the best way to look at that is to look at any derogatory information first. And by derogatory information, I mean, like, you know, do you have any collections? Do you have any charge-offs? Do your credit cards have high balances? Do you have any closed accounts that were closed negatively, right? So closed due to inactivity, and you still have a balance, or closed because, you know, they're charged off, you weren't paying them, things like that. Those are the first things you want to look for when you get a copy of your credit report. Then you want to start looking at what your credit score is and how is your credit score evaluated, right? How are they calculating your credit score? And you're going to want to break your credit report down into those sections like that. So 35% of your credit score is your payment history. So you're going to want to evaluate the payment history for all of your currently reporting accounts. It needs to be as close to 100% as possible. If it's not at 100%, what accounts are keeping you from 100%, and what can you do to fix those? Next, you're going to move on to your credit utilization, right? So how much of your available credit are you actually using? This is not per card. This is overall. So any open credit cards that you have, you want to add up all of your credit limits, and then you want to calculate the percentage. I tell people that you need to keep your credit utilization to less than 10%. That's the biggest tip I could probably give you. This section is the easiest to manipulate as far as points. So if you ever need points, always look at your available credit usage, right? And keep that as low as possible. Now, you can spend as much as you want in a month. It's just that for each card, you need to be able to identify your statement date and make sure that each payment is submitted before your statement date, so that when that card in particular reports, it's reporting a low utilization and keeping that percentage low. Now, After that, you're going to want to look at the age of your account. So that's 15% of your score. The how long have you been building credit? How old is your oldest account? How young is your youngest account? Those are things that you want to look at as well. Time plays a huge role in establishing a solid credit profile. You also want to look at mix of accounts. That's 10% of your credit score. So do you have a good mix of accounts? And by mix of accounts, I mean mix of credit, right? There's three types of credit. There's installment, there's revolving lines of credit, and then there's charge cards or charge accounts. Those aren't really popular. A lot of people don't really have too many of those, and that's fine. But you need to have a good mix of loans and a good mix of revolving lines of credit. I typically tell people a good baseline to have is 3 credit cards, 1 short-term loan, and 1 long-term loan. A short-term loan is an installment loan with a term length, so a payback time of 2 years or less. And then a long-term loan is longer than that. That's typically like your mortgages, your car loans, your student loans, things like that, things that'll take you a while to pay off. And then finally, the last category you're going to want to look at is your inquiries. Inquiries are 10% of your credit score. Now, when it comes to inquiries, a lot of people be like, yeah, but if you apply for something within 30 days of each other, no matter how many times you apply, it only hits your score one time. And that is true. It will only hit your score one time. However, the inquiry is still recorded on your credit profile, and you can still be denied for things for having too many inquiries in a certain amount of time. So please keep that in mind when you guys are out here applying for things to open up new accounts. But that's how your credit score is calculated. So you're gonna want to break down your credit profile to match that. I'm so sorry. Oh, never mind. You asked me somewhere else. I forgot I was even live on YouTube. Let's go back and answer these questions. Do you have step-by-step on best ways to start to fix your credit yourself? So I'm actually working on an ebook. The ebook is going to be completely free, and it's going to be available for everybody. I'm working on the ebook to kind of outline that step-by-step process for you guys, kind of at least so that you understand the process. It's not going to have the letters attached, but it will be a step-by-step process so you understand what's supposed to happen at each level. And then you can either generate your own letters, or I do have letters available for purchase on my website. It's really up to you. But I am working on that ebook. I'm hoping to have that done by the end of next week. There are a few accounts with some late payments, but they are closed accounts. But I guess not technically closed because the credit cards were reported lost. So if you have late payments on the closed accounts, right, a goodwill letter isn't going to work. A goodwill letter is specifically structured for people who still have a relationship with that bank and the account is still open. Now, if it's closed, I always tell people the first step is always to ask. You never know what you can get by asking, and you don't lose points for asking questions. So you can always ask, yo, can you change that to paid as agreed? Like, what's up? They tell you no, then that's something different, right? Because they might tell you yes, you never know. Now, if they tell you no, then what you're going to do is you're going to request a copy of your payment history. And then you're going to go through the payment history and you're going to force the company to validate each and every late payment that you see listed. If they do it, you already lost the points. You're not going to lose additional points. If they can't, then it's going to get updated to paid. So it's kind of like a win-win, right? Now, late payments, the older they are, the less of an effect it has on your credit profile. And let's just say you can't get your late payments taken off. Then what? The biggest thing is that you bury it with on-time payment history. For most people, I suggest this little hack, right? And y'all know I hate saying hack, but low-key, it really is, though. So for those of you who have late payments that you cannot get removed and you don't want to necessarily sign up for another credit card and mess up your credit utilization or whatever, but you need to bury it, this is what you do. Get you some prepaid credit cards. Prepaid credit cards do not affect your credit utilization, and it only reports positively. It can't report negatively because you have nothing owed. How prepaid credit cards work is that you pay into it. Oh, good morning. You pay into it, right? So you put money into an account. I prefer like the Extra card, the Chime card, and Sesame Cash card. You put money into the account, and that is your spending limit. It works exactly like a debit card, and based on your spending habits, they're going to report on-time payment history. So, that's one way that you can try to bury those late payments in positive history by getting prepaid credit cards. Make sure they report to all 3 credit bureaus, and make sure you're actually using them. There is no monthly payment. There's usually no fees and things like that. There's no fees associated with the Credit Sesame Cash card or the Extra card as far as I'm tracking. So those are good options for you guys. And you can also report your rent. So for those of you who are renting, I love Boom Rent Reporting. I have the link to them, I'm pretty sure, on my website still. But Boom Rent Reporting, you can report your rent through them. They report to all three credit reporting bureaus, and you got to pay your rent anyway. So why not get some on-time payment history out of it? You got to pay your rent to live, right? So why not have a reporting to your credit bureau, your credit website? Hey, where's the consultation at on your website? So it's called a credit audit. So if you want to book an audit on my website is themoneyplug.co, and then you'll click on become a client. It's going to give you two options. You can either select that you want credit repair, or you can select that you want a credit audit. A credit audit is not a requirement to become a credit repair client. So if that's what you want, you don't have to look at that. Have you tried removing late payments from CQ? I have, specifically from CQ. And the thing with them is I've only successfully done it one time. And it is because this person has been with them for like fucking 20 years. Like, they have a really extensive relationship with them. And it was only like one late payment. If you have a history of late payments, or if you have a series of late payments with CQ, I can tell you now, they're not going to get rid of it. Y'all gonna be so proud of me too. I've been drinking nothing but water. Look, for Dreamville, I had like a little Camelback, and I've been drinking the water out of that too. But y'all be so proud of me. I can count on one hand how many Pepsis I've had in like the last like week. Business credit. Is there a waiting period from establishment before qualifying for credit lines? No, that is not. I'm so glad you asked me that. So I told y'all I was going through the training for business credit, and I've completed the training. I'm not in a place where I want to start taking clients just yet, but I will start posting business credit tips for you guys. So that's a plus for you guys. That's something that's going to be coming this week. Actually, I'm going to be starting posting those this week. But I'm not going to be taking clients just yet. So hold off. But it doesn't matter as long as you have your proper documentation. So what documentation is required for you to start establishing business credit? You need to have your, if you are a sole proprietorship, you need to make sure that you have your paperwork in order on how the business operates, right? Sole proprietorship means that your social security number operates as the business's as the business's social security number, right? That is going to be what is used to determine your credit worthiness. You can still have an EIN if you have a sole proprietorship. I don't know who was going around telling people they couldn't do that, but you can still do that. Now, if you have an LLC, you need to make sure you have your articles of organizations, because some businesses may require that you submit that. You need to have a business bank account. You need to have your EIN. That is completely free. Y'all should not be paying people to give y'all EIN and y'all DUNS number, because both of those things are free. To get your EIN, you're going to go on irs.gov, and they'll guide you through the whole process. If you do it during business hours, you'll get it like immediately. If you do it outside of business hours, you'll get I think you'll get an email, but you also get something in the mail after the fact that's going to have it on there for you for your records. You also want to get your DUNS number. You're going to go to DNB, like the letters Delta November Bravo.com, and you'll sign up on there. It's completely free. They tell you give them 30 days, but it usually never takes that long. Sometimes some people might even already have one, so search first and then apply if your business doesn't pop up. But you're definitely going to want to make sure you have your EIN, your DUNS, and your LLC situated, or your sole prop situated first. Then you're not going to start off with a $5,000, $10,000 credit card. It's not how it works. Just like you are when you have no credit, you got to think of your business as a person. Your person has no credit. So when you have no credit, what do? You got to start establishing lines of credit. So this means going and getting these net 30s and these net 60s and things like that. Now, I am one of those people who I tell people that I don't think it's a really good idea for you guys to tie your business and your personal finances together, because that it's co-signing for your business. And what I tell y'all about co-signing, we not co-signing shit for nobody. And that goes for your business as well. Stop co-signing for your business, because nobody ever gets into business thinking it's going to fail. But statistically, some businesses just don't work out. And you don't want to affect any progress that you made with your personal credit, because your business fucked up. So always, always, always consider building your business credit separately from your personal finances. And so you're going to get the net 30s, the net 60s. Don't put your social on shit. I also suggest a gas card. My gas card got me to a credit score for my business quicker, alongside my net 30s and my net 60s. So I have I have the, what is it called? The Amazon. I have the, what is it, Quill, Uline, Granger, all of those. I have all of those for my business, but I also got a gas card. Whatever gas card you get, make sure it's one you're actually going to use, okay? Look, BP, Wawa, who else? Shell, they all have programs for businesses. I did not have to be a personal guarantor, meaning I did not have to co-sign for my business, and they just gave it to me. And it's been working out really, really well. After about 3 or 4 months of that, I finally had an established credit score for my business. So I was really happy about that. But that I don't want to get too much into business credit, but those are some tips for establishing your business credit. No Pepsi. So I've had Pepsi, but y'all know moderation is key. I knew I was gonna be eating like shit, especially at Dreamville, because it's a lot of like fried foods and things like that. And you guys know I got diabetes, so I have to be very careful with what I'm consuming. So I was very cognizant of my sugar intake, but I drank more water than anything. I've been drinking the fuck out of some water. So y'all gonna be proud. Y'all, my OG followers, I know y'all know I usually be on here with a Pepsi or two. So, be proud. I hate that it's Aquafina, but my husband did the shopping, so I love you, but who drinks Aquafina, sir? So no Wawa in Georgia? Really? Oh, girl, I'm not going to goddamn Georgia. Y'all ain't got no Wawa? Damn. Well, I mean, I just use those gas stations as an example. There are plenty of gas stations out there who offer credit cards or fleet. Look for gas stations that offer fleet services, or fleet service cards. Those are typical signs that they have gas cards that you can get for your business. Nope, no Starbucks. No Starbucks. Oh, I'm lying. I did have Starbucks. But when I got my Starbucks, I didn't drink nothing else with sugar in it that morning. Now starts the Wawa Sheets debate. Bro, it's no comparison. It's Sheets or die, but Sheets not everywhere. Excuse me. I know, but I'm from the East Coast, yeah. Damn, man. They got Royal Farms? Do they got Royal Farms in Georgia? I love me some Royal Farms. Their chicken is unmatched, bro. And I'm not one of those people who eat like gas station food, but whew. She got BP. Somebody said that they got a BP gas card and they only use their EIN and they love it. Yup. It is Wawa or die low key. It is Wawa or die low key because hell yeah, best chicken after the bar. Like literally the only time I order Royal Farms, if it's like midnight and I'm still hungry, I'll DoorDash it. I fucking love Royal Farms. But yes, those are, I don't know, Royal Farms, I don't think they offer fleet services, but like, yeah, so like Love's has the gas card for those of you who have Love's close to y'all, and shit like that. Your EIN is your employer identification number that the IRS gives you if you have a business. So this is how the IRS identifies your business. This is what you'll use to file your business taxes, things like that. So that's why it's important for you to have your EIN. This is how the IRS identifies you. What other questions y'all got for me? And it doesn't have to be business credit. It could be personal credit. What other questions you guys got for me? I missed y'all so much. I really did. And it was funny because in the Facebook group, like somebody would post a question and like I would answer and they'd be like, girl, if you don't get your ass out of here and go on vacation. They told me that a couple times. They definitely put me in my place. Shout out to y'all. But I real live missed y'all. I missed going live. I missed making TikToks. All I could do was I made like a couple TikToks. Like I made the TikTok for my husband's birthday and for the drive down. And then I did like, I think I did like 2 TikToks, which was something for me in a week. So I was proud of me. What other questions you guys got for me? It's hot as balls in here. I think because of the change of statute of limitation in New York, these collection companies is coming out of the woods on old work. So yes. So for those of you who don't know what Jamaican Queen is talking about. So last year, New York passed a law where they were changing the statute of limitations from 6 years to 3 years, and it just went into effect this April. So what's likely going to end up happening, if you're from New York or you lived in New York at the time that you signed for a debt, listen closely. And I'm actually going to be making a TikTok about this. You are likely going to be receiving a lot of notifications from debt collectors for money that, for debt that you've owed a long time ago, even if it's expired. Because what happens is if you engage with them, that resets the statute of limitations and then they now can pursue you for this debt. And so they're counting on the fact that a lot of people don't know that. They just get scared when they owe something. So they start making phone calls and start engaging with them or disputing with them and things things like that. And so that's kind of what they're looking for. So if you have debt that you know is past the statute of limitations with the changes, then don't touch it. Do not fucking touch it if you don't plan on paying it. Okay. I always tell people when it comes to debt, and this is any kind of debt for any on your credit report. If you have any kind of debt on your credit report that you do not plan on paying, don't touch it. Because if you go to dispute it and the debt is then validated, what that then does is resets the statute of limitations, and so now this company will have longer to sue you. And we don't want that. Oh, and I got an update for y'all too. So I don't know if I got any of my like OG followers on here other than like First Black Ginger. And I know I seen T on here earlier. But y'all know I got court this month. So I'm being sued by LVMV for a credit card I'm not sure I owe. So I have court on the 19th, so I'm actually going to be vlogging it. I'm not going to be vlogging court. Obviously, you can't record in court, but I'm going to be vlogging this whole process because I have so many people who get court notices and really don't know what to do or what that means, and they get scared thinking like, oh my God, I can't go to court, da 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 da. So I'm actually vlogging the whole process, me getting my evidence together. I've talked about like what have I sent them so far, kind of how I got to this point, the details of the account, things like that. And then whether I win or lose, I'm going to post it just so that you guys can understand what happens at court. The reason a lot of these companies take y'all to court is because y'all don't show up. And when you don't show up, these companies get what is known as an order of default, meaning they get whatever they asked for because nobody showed up to contest it. So I always tell people, go to court. The worst thing that can happen is you owe the money, which you already owed the fucking money anyway, according to what they're saying anyway. So, you know, it's not really doing anything crazy. But definitely go to court. And then you can even print the letters that you guys bought or typed up or whatever and take it to court and say the same shit to the judge. Like, listen, I need them to validate this debt. I need proof that this debt belongs to me. And if they cannot validate the debt right then and there in front of that judge, then the case will be dismissed and I don't owe shit. You see what I'm saying? So don't get scared or discouraged just because you received a court notice. The same rules apply. It's just now you got to do it in front of somebody. So I definitely want to let you guys know that. But yeah, I have court this month on the 19th. So I'll let you guys know how that goes. This is gonna be exciting. It's gonna be very exciting. I said I was gonna buy a suit, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna buy a suit. I think I'm gonna just I know I ain't gonna wear jeans or nothing. I thought I heard my door. I was looking for a credit card that gives something back for utilities and groceries. Typically, for things like that, you'll want to find a card that just gives you 3% cash back on all purchases. Or like if you look at everyday purchase, like it'll be like 3% or whatever percent cash back on everyday purchases. And then kind of look and see what everyday is. That might be what works for you. That might be something that works for you. Should you start by removing incorrect addresses and then derogatory items? Yes. So when you pull your credit, the very first thing you want to do is look at your personal information section. This is not going to get you any points by fixing this. However, if you're going to start disputing, you want to make sure that you clean this section up because this is how debt collectors add debt to you. A lot of people think, oh, it's my social, but they don't even really prioritize your social anymore, especially because anybody can get your social, so they don't even like having it on file anymore because businesses are not secure. They don't care about your personal information. So they use things like your address, your name, your phone number, your employer, things like that to verify that you are who you said you are and you are the person who owes this debt. And so that is why it is important for you to clean up your personal information section. Oh, Hollywood, I don't see your question. Can you repeat your question, oh, Hollywood? I think maybe it filtered it out. So when comparing credit reports, all the account numbers are supposed to match. Yes. Yes. If it doesn't, we got a problem. Now, okay, so when I say account numbers need to match, maybe the one bureau starred all of them out except the last four, and then maybe another bureau showed all the numbers and all that stuff. That's fine. But, you know, what's not fine is if it say 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and this one says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what I mean when I say the numbers are supposed to match. Oh, it is hot, baby. Do he got the fucking heat on 80? Jesus. Oh, got nothing in there. Oh, wait. Thank you. Damn it. I don't got nothing in there. I gotta put some more stuff in my fridge. What other questions you guys got for me? I wish I would have met you before I paid this patient first collection. Damn. Patient first be getting people good. NYS is still cold. Oh, no, it's not hot outside. It's cold outside. But my husband got it burning the hell up in here. It's because he don't like wearing no clothes in the house. He be in here in shorts and no shirt. If I have a health collection debt and I could prove I had insurance during that time, can my insurance pay that? Yes. So typically, I actually just had that happen to me. So I went to the dentist and I got a bill from a collection company, and I'm like, yo, I have insurance, expensive insurance. So what I did was I took that bill and I sent it to my insurance company and let them know what was going on. And then I contacted the company and I said, hey, I have insurance. I'm not sure why it wasn't processed. But I did send the bill to my insurance company. Here's their contact information. And yeah, y'all work that shit out. And so they did. And it ended up coming off my credit. Because let me tell y'all, I was about to have a fucking fit. Your husband and me are the same. Bro, put some fucking clothes on. It's hot in here. Jesus, it's burning up in here. So I sent the letter to the credit bureaus to fix addresses, but I haven't received anything back. Yeah, it's not uncommon. A lot of my clients lately have been saying oh, I know we sent the personal information update, but I haven't heard anything, and I haven't seen any changes either. I really feel like the bureaus are using this USPS shit to not respond to certain stuff. I'm gonna be 1,000% honest with you. So what I would suggest maybe is sending it certified. And y'all know I don't even really like saying that, but if you really pressed for the change, and it has to happen right now, try sending it certified and see if that makes any changes. Because at the very least, they should respond to say that it's under investigation or send you a new copy of your credit report with the changes. That'd be me, fully clothed with my slippers on. I literally just peeled my slippers off because my fucking feet was hot. That'd be me. Is it DOLA and no creditor show inaccuracies reason for pay collection? Huh? I need you to break that down for me, traveler. Which is better, to dispute electronic or via certified mail? So I do not, and never have I suggested submitting disputes online. And the reason why is because you waive a lot of your rights when you submit your disputes online. And it makes it harder for you to win the dispute process because they try to restrict what you're actually disputing, and they try to restrict what you can say in your disputes, if that makes sense. Whereas if you type your letters up, you can say what the fuck you want to say in these letters. So you have that going for you. Not only that, if you dispute online and it comes back as valid, a lot of times you don't get the option to then redispute that same exact account, if that makes sense. Come on, man, I was trying to get to YouTube to make sure I ain't got no questions on there. Okay. Can you use those to remove the paid collections? So collections shouldn't have. Okay. So yes, you can. I get what you're saying. So any inaccuracy on any account, charged off, collection account, doesn't matter. If there are any inaccuracies in the way that it's reporting, you can use those inaccuracies to dispute and attempt to have it removed from your credit profile. Yes, send it to your insurance company. Jefferson Capital says they are stopping collections. What do I do next so it doesn't reappear later? The only option you have is that you can either pay Jefferson Capital and tell them just not okay, so since you do not have what it takes to report on this debt, however, I don't want you to sell this debt. I'm going to give you this money right here to consider this debt handled in exchange for you not reporting to the bureaus and not selling this account to anybody else. Now, if they already sold the account or if they're not willing to agree to it, when it goes to the new account, you enter something known as a dunning period. And what that means is you get a 30-day window when a company first buys a debt to dispute the validity of that debt without it reporting to the credit bureaus. And so then you'll send your pay to delete letter to them, right? Because the debt has to be handled. You can't just, otherwise you're just going to be disputing with each person that purchases this debt. And so you'll say, listen, I know for a fact that you do not have the documentation that you need. Sorry, I'm looking at two different cameras, guys. You do not have the documentation that you need to collect and report on this debt. However, I want this shit to stop reporting. So how about this? I'll give you X amount of dollars. It doesn't have to be the full amount. You kind of hold all the cards right now. I'll give you X amount of dollars in exchange for you not only to not sell this debt, but to not report on this debt. And then likely they'll agree to it because, like I said, you know they don't have everything that they need to collect on this debt or to report on this debt. So they should be grateful for whatever it is that you offer them. For the hospital, if you did not furnish your insurance at the time of service, once the time frame hits, then you're in to submit. We can bill you and send to collections unless your insurance gives us the okay in writing. So for the person with the insurance question, you might want to check to make sure you haven't passed that time frame, or contact your insurance company. I always say contact your insurance company because I damn sure did call United Concordia. Like, excuse me, I pay a lot of money. Why is it different, the credit card score from a lender than the actual credit score company? So here's the thing a lot of people don't understand, right? Lenders don't make the credit score. They get your credit score from somewhere. The credit scoring models that are used vary depending on what it is you're applying for. So, for example, Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian, they have access to all of the credit scoring models: FICO 2, FICO 4, FICO 5, FICO 8, FICO 9, FICO 10, and FICO 10T are what are currently out there right now, right? They have access to all of those, but it's all about where are you looking at your credit score at. That's going to determine what score you see. And that's dependent on your goals. So for example, if you're looking to buy a home, you're not going to look at your Credit Karma score and you're not going to look at your FICO 8 base score, because that's not what lenders for mortgages look for. They look at your FICO 2, your FICO 4, and your FICO 5. These are known as your mortgage scores. If you're going to go buy a car, you're not going to look at your Credit Karma score. You're going to look at your FICO Auto score, because that's what they're going to be pulling from. If you're applying for a credit card, you're going to want to do a little research. You'll notice that, they check my Experian FICO 8 credit card score. So then that's what you'll look for that. So it's not that all these different scores are incorrect or, you shouldn't use them. It all depends on what your goals are and what it is you're trying to get. That's going to determine what scores you should be looking at. Here we go. Are you able to use the 609 letters to dispute the original creditor? For example, I have a friend being garnished right now only because she did not go to court. I hate, as soon as you said 609, I ain't gonna lie, I did an internal eye roll, because y'all gotta stop sending these blanket ass letters, man. And not understanding why it's being sent. You just know it's a 609 letter and I'm going to send it here. And you don't want to be as aggressive either out the gate all the time. But no, a 609 letter is not going to handle that. That's legit. She's not going to be able to stop that garnishment because she did not show up in court. When you don't show up in court, they're given what is known as an order of default. And that's illegal. That's just like, for example, so for those of you who are familiar with child support or are familiar with child custody, if I have a custody case open right now and my spouse does not, or whoever I'm going up against does not show up, and I win custody, the only way for them to then go back and get custody is to go back to court. So she would have to take them to court to fight that garnishment, to get that garnishment removed. Now, she could pay whatever she owes in full to the company, and that will also remove the garnishment. However, because she did not go to court, and there's no, she needs, a legitimate, maybe, if this was identity theft, there are certain situations, certain extenuating circumstances that would grant them to, pause the garnishment and reevaluate. But just because you want it off, that's not going to be enough. That's not going to be enough to get that removed. They have the wrong Addy on my credit. Can I call and dispute it? Yeah, things like addresses and inquiries. Yeah, go ahead, call. You ain't killing nobody if you do that. But when you dispute accounts and shit, don't call. Y'all, I'm so hot. Alexa, drop into the kids' room, please. Hey guys, are you hot? Hey guys. Hello? You woke Jamie up. Oh, I apologize. I thought you guys were already woke. Are you guys hot? No. I'm sitting by your door. Oh, well, can you go turn the heat off? Do you know how? Yes, Mom, I lost my tooth. Oh. Your tooth? Yeah. I'm going to be poor. Oh, my God. What am I going to do? Oh, no. All right, well, wrap it up in a tissue. And go turn the heat off, please. Thank you. Alexa, hang up. Sorry, y'all. I'm burning up in here. Oh, you're so welcome. What other questions you guys got for me? Damn, I'm hot. I seen things on my credit I didn't do after that T-Mobile hack. Okay, so then the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to file a police report saying that you've been a victim of identity theft. You don't got to know who did it. You don't got to know nothing. All you got to know is that you need a police report because you've been a victim of identity theft. And so then you're going to take that police report and you're going to send a copy of the police report to all 3 credit bureaus and send them a nice little letter that says, hey, I've been a victim of identity theft, and I would like to provide you all with a copy of the police report so that the identity theft code can be placed on my profile. That's literally just it. I'm in Eastern time zone. So once you do that, you're going to want to freeze. If you're not applying for anything no time soon, you're going to want to freeze all of your credit reports, and then you're going to want to go one by one to each of your accounts. The ones that were not you're going to want to reach out to those lenders. You're going to say, hey, I've been a victim of identity theft. Here's a copy of my police report. What all do you need from me to substantiate my claim of identity theft? That's what you're going to have to do one by one for each of those accounts. Ugh. Should one credit card be reporting twice? No. One account, one report. That's it. I'm burning up in this. Y'all, I bought a pothos, man, and I think it's about to die. I think my husband had my office closed while I was gone, and it's too hot. That thing. Can you send the collections agency a notice of the statute of limitations? I'll try anything. So here's the thing, but if you reach out to that company, that's then you initiating contact, which gives them the right to update the date of last activity because this is new activity on the account, which will reset your statute of limitations. So oh my God, it is lunchtime. My husband texts me like I'm almost home. What's for lunch? Damn, it is lunch. I'm gonna be getting off soon. I replaced one credit card and it shows under Equifax is open. And then the replaced card is my current balance and payment history. So it depends on how they handled that. So I've seen that a couple times where people are like, oh, I opened up account, and usually I see it with like the PayPal card. They'll be like, I opened up an account, and then they get something happened, and they closed that account and gave me a new one, a new card. What they essentially did was close your account out and give you an entirely new account, so you will have a new history. But if that is the case, then both accounts should not be listed as open. So that's that. I've paid a debt for AT&T and now I've got a different collection agency writing me. So then what you'll do is you'll provide a copy of the payment that you made. So what you'll do is you'll send in a debt validation to that company and you'll say, hey, send me whatever you have that ties me to this debt and a breakdown of what the money is owed, right? And so when they send it to you, you're going to compare whatever it is they're trying to say that you owe for to what it is that you paid. And if it's the exact, like if they're trying to collect on the exact same debt, that is illegal. And so then you would respond and let them know, like, it is illegal to collect on a paid debt. And here is proof that this debt is paid. Please cease all attempts to collect and reporting on this account. What if it's past 3 years and they just put it last week on my credit report? So let me ask you this. So with that particular debt, right? Did you ever dispute it when it was with somebody else? So like, let's say you disputed it with the original creditor or with the previous creditor or something like that. That could be why it'd be why. Or maybe they just genuinely don't know. Maybe they genuinely just don't know that they don't have they're not paying attention and they don't know that they don't have the right to collect and report on that debt. So then just send them a debt validation. I mean, that's your only option at this point. If you really want that gone, you're going to have to send them a debt. I would start with the bureaus in your case. Your case is very specific, so I would start with the bureaus, and I would say, hey, print out a copy of your credit report and the proof that you have that the data last activity has not been updated and that the statute of limitations has expired. And then you'll send that to the bureaus, not the creditor, and say, listen, they're just now reporting, but the statute of limitations has expired. And I do not want to initiate contact with the creditor, for that will reset the statute of limitations and the data last activity. Please remove this account from my credit profile. That's what you'll do. Doesn't matter if your credit cards are with the same bank. No, it don't matter. That's a preference thing. I typically tell people, spread the wealth, right? You want to establish relationships with a couple different banks, not just one, right? Never put all your eggs in one basket. You don't know what's going to happen with that bank, or you don't know what that relationship is going to always be like. So spread it out a little bit. Don't got to have 1,000 cards with 1,000 banks. But, even if it's just one card with a different bank, that's fine too. You're welcome. If Ray, no Charles, if it's the same amount, then you're definitely gonna want to provide proof that you paid it, and tell them that they need to cease all attempts to collect this on this debt, as well as report this debt. I do not know how long I've been live, actually. I know that ain't right. Oh, an hour. Okay. Like, I know I know that ain't right. I've been live for an hour. All right, so I'm getting ready to get off. All right, so how do I set up a 5-minute phone call with you? So, all right, so I don't do phone calls. I do everything by email and Zoom, right? So if you want to set up an a audit, which is where we evaluate your credit profile, then you can click the link in my bio on TikTok, or my TikTok name is actually my website, themoneyplug.co. And so you'll go to my website and go and become a client, and you'll click on credit audit, and it has all the steps and things like that on how to book it, what you'll need for your appointment, and kind of what that entails. And that's 60 minutes of you and me, or however long you need, depending on if I have clients after you or not. And we'll get on Zoom and we'll sit and we'll talk. And the reason why I don't handle business over the phone, you guys, I feel like it's kind of disingenuous. I prefer Zoom because I want you guys to see me, to see my body language, and see the authenticity and the things that I'm saying. And I and I'm one of those people, and I tell people all the time, I put my face as the face of my business, because if I'm lying or if I fuck up with y'all, like, fight me. You can fight me. I want y'all to know what I look like, so y'all see me out in public and be like, bitch, you lied. You know what I'm talking about? So, oh, what's up, Bill? Oh, yeah, whenever you're ready, let me know. Let me know whenever you're ready. I was going to say Zoom, but I didn't know if you was feeling that. Yeah, I only handle business on Zoom. That, and I don't like talking on the phone. I just don't like... I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I feel like we family. I feel like I sound like Batman. So, like, I really don't like talking on the phone. And somebody accidentally call me sir, I'm gonna be mad. So, I just do everything on Zoom. I got a message saying set an appointment with you and never got the link. Okay, if you email me now, actually, because y'all know I'm about to be checking all my emails for my vacation. So, if you email me now and put on there, for your subject line, put appointment link in capital letters for me, I'll go ahead and send you the link directly so that you can book your appointment. And listen, so when you guys are booking your audits, please make sure you guys are filling out the web form. If you fill out the web form, that will give you access to the client portal. That is where you go and because there's a contract that needs to be signed. There are documents that need to be uploaded for me to verify your identity, as well as if you have credit monitoring with Identity IQ or Smart Credit, there's a space for you to log in so that you don't have to have a copy of your credit report. The government trying to make me work. Not trying. Listen, y'all. So, one of y'all suggested that I get on LinkedIn. If you don't stop saying that, I'm gonna fight you off. If you. That's just what I think. I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop saying it. Listen, I got a job offer. Y'all know me. I've been retired for 2 years now. Damn, has it been 2 years? 2021? No, 3 years. It'll be 3 years this September. I've been retired. So I haven't been working. And for those of y'all who like know me, y'all know I always say that the military ruined me because I don't know how to talk to people like in a job setting. And so I got a job offer to do to handle credit disputes for a couple companies. I was kind of shocked. Because it was like as soon as I started using LinkedIn and like started posting stuff, I started getting them. I was kind of shocked. a part of me want to do it just so I can get like that insider information for y'all, but then a part of me don't want to do it because I know they're gonna end up making me sign an NDA or something like that, and I probably would have to stop with the TikToks. So no, I'm not doing it. But I just thought that was really crazy. I didn't even know that that was a job. Like they had specific people with banks and things like that to handle the disputes. I thought it was just a regular customer service thing. So I thought that was pretty cool. All right, y'all. Well, my husband home for lunch, so I'm about to go eat. I'm starving. If you guys have any more questions, please don't hesitate to drop them in my Q&A on the page. You can email me. My email address is listed in the bio on TikTok. If you're on Instagram and you want to shoot me an email, if you're on Instagram, you can just shoot me a message. That's fine. I check my messages a couple times a day. And I don't mind answering you guys' questions if it's like a question or two. But don't get greedy. Just book an audit if it's going to require me to do a lot of digging and things like that. And please stop sending me screenshots of your credit reports because this is not secure. I got a job and I don't know how to talk to people either. Yeah, Bill, you don't know how to talk to people either, but your job is secure. Like you can afford to talk to people like that. That says a lot about what you've been doing on here. Keep up the fabulous work. Oh, thank you. But I'll holler everybody. I got to start answering all these emails and stuff. So if you sent me emails within the last week and a half, I will be getting to you soon. Please just give me to the end of the week. I do have to go through and talk to all my regular clients first, and then I'll go back and start answering some more emails as well. So if you are a client and you sent me a message and I have not responded yet, I've responded to some this morning. I have over 50 messages I still have to get back to. So just give me a couple of days to get back to everybody and start getting everybody scheduled if it's like a big thing. If it's like a big deal and I need to see you, I'll contact you immediately. So you guys enjoy the rest of y'all day. Y'all know my rules, right? You know my rules, right? Live every day like it's your last, but pay your bills and wear condoms just in case it's not. And I will see all of you, if not later today, then I'll see you guys tomorrow. And I'm out.